Hey you guys, it's me Gemstone. I hope you're doing well. This reading is going to be for the water signs, and I'm going to be using the Light Seers Tarot. I know you guys haven't seen me in a very long time, but I had a little bit of time free. To be honest, this isn't even time I have free. Like, really, this is time that I should be taking a nap, because my daughter is asleep and she sleeps not very well at nighttime. So usually I try to get a nap in during the day when she's sleeping, but I can't sleep right now because I'm too hopped up on caffeine. So I said, why not just do a reading, because I've been meaning to for ages and haven't. And also it's giving me a chance to practice with this Light Seer tarot deck, because I haven't really used it too much since I've received it, and it is a really nice deck. So let's see what's showing up for the water signs, starting with Cancer. And there is no time scale on this reading, so whenever you see it, even if it's a month from now, 2-3 months from now, hopefully the message will resonate with you. So let's see. Cancer, you have the Six of Wands with the Seven of Wands with the Tower. I was hoping to myself, I was like, I hope it's not going to just be in order, because I have shuffled this deck quite a bit. So the Six of Wands with the Seven of Wands shows a progression. So you're going through some kind of process of moving up. Moving up could be with your work with the Six of Wands. Your work situation could be improving. You could be becoming more experienced in your work. Like maybe you've moved into a better position. Six of Wands is also a card of acknowledgement. So people are noticing your work. They're noticing you. You're getting a lot of attention. Because you can see this woman is like she's standing in front of a crowd that's cheering for her. So this is a good, time for celebration, a time for people acknowledging your contribution, whether that's your contribution to the community, your contribution to work, your contribution even to your family, with that six kind of energy, or people that you know. So that's a really nice time, because you're being acknowledged for the stuff that you do, especially because you're a Cancer. Cancers usually help a lot of people. They usually put a lot of other people before themselves. So I kind of see that people are basically showing you forms of love and forms of appreciation, which is really nice. The Seven of Wands is you're blocking you're blocking negative energy, basically. I think if somebody or people try to come to you in a wrong kind of way, you're really not going to stand for it. It's kind of like you're going to be feeling like, because you're progressing in your life, this could mean, even if it's not necessarily your job becomes better, or you get a different position or something like that. It could just be that you are growing within yourself as a person. Like maybe you're doing a lot of internal work on yourself, and because of the internal work you're doing, it's almost like, even if people are giving you recognition, you know your worth, you know who you are, you know what you bring to the table. And so therefore it's like, if somebody was to come to you with negativity, you wouldn't be for it. Like you would just be like, I'm not even bothering myself. I'm not bothering myself with the negative. I'm not paying attention to anyone that isn't for me, basically. And I think that that's a good attitude to have. It's like, focus on the people that love you and praise you. Don't focus on the people that have even negative things to say about you, or just don't wish positive things on you. But I love her stance. Like these wands are coming for her, and she just looks like she's just in her yoga namaste chilled out position, so it's like she's just unfazed by it all, completely unbothered. I'm stuck on this card. I wanted to move on from it, but I'm still stuck on it. I'm stuck on this circle here. So being that you're cancers are always, they're very intuitive. So I kind of feel like for some of you guys, you may be feeling intuitively that there might be some people that don't wish you well. So it might not even be like a physical thing where somebody says something to you. I don't know if some of you guys are feeling like energetically there's something maybe untoward like around you, or there's something that you're sensing or something that you're picking up that you feel that you have to protect yourself from or put up a shield to. Some of you guys might be retreating away altogether. Like maybe some of you guys literally are going to a retreat, or you literally are going to be maybe spending some more, like more time at home, maybe kind of away from people for a while or something like that. It's almost like you were social at one point, but then it's like you're spending some time away from people afterwards. Maybe because you just need to sort of shut down and close your energy off so that you can kind of center yourself. Like I definitely do that. Like I need that. I'm that kind of person, even though like I'm a Libra sun sign, like I'm a Cancer moon, so I'm very much, I need, I like to be around people at times, but I definitely like alone time. And so I kind of feel like you guys are finding the balance between being around people and being social and having some alone time to kind of recharge and rethink and sort of regather yourself. Especially if you have like a spiritual practice, you might be trying to focus more time on your spiritual practice for self-development and self-improvement. And maybe that's more where your focus is gonna lie. So the last card is the Tower. So the Tower, always shakes things up. It always enters something that changes the trajectory of where you was going or where things was leading. So it kind of feels like, oh, for some of you guys, the Tower could be bringing in some arguments, or it could be bringing in an event that maybe you wanted to avoid, but it will be inevitable. Like it's almost like something you didn't want to deal with, something you didn't want to necessarily have to go through, but you kind of have to deal with it. Because it happens so suddenly. Like that's what the Tower brings. It brings like sudden changes or sudden communications or sometimes sudden arguments with somebody else. And especially with the Seven of Wands there, where it's kind of the Seven of Wands can have a bit of a defensiveness about it. And then to follow that with the Tower is kind of like, again, there's an avoidance of an event that had to take place or had to happen. Now, what that event is, I want to kind of, again, it could be an argument, but then I'm seeing so many butterflies in here. It's such a pretty card, actually, the Tower. This interpretation of the Tower is a really nice interpretation. Because it has these butterflies, and butterflies represents transformation. So something is transforming. Something is really changing very suddenly for you. Let's see what's underneath what your shadow card is. The Page of Pentacles. So your foundation is what's kind of being shaken up at this time. Now, I don't think your foundation is being shaken up in a negative way. Anything that the Tower kind of brings to light is bringing to light because it's almost like the universe wants you to acknowledge it or wants you to see it. And that's why I was saying that if you have been avoiding something, the Tower is saying you have to make it your focus. You can't be avoiding it anymore. So if for some of you guys, your foundation is not strong. So let's say, for instance, if your finances are very shaky, the Tower could be saying you really have to pay attention to your finances at this time. If your relationship with somebody is very shaky, it could be saying you need to sort of pay attention to this at this time. So basically, whatever you're avoiding, you have to, the Tower is kind of saying you have to kind of deal with this. And because it's a pentacle, pages are young. because pages are usually, they're court cards, so they kind of represent people. So a page could actually represent a actual child. So maybe a child actually can be to do with this tower energy. So maybe some of you could be discovering out of the blue, a child comes into your life, or you could discover that you're pregnant. I'm not really strong on pregnancy in the cards, but it could be something that shows up just because we have this child here. But it also can be that because pages are children, children at times, they're not obviously the most responsible because they're usually used to somebody else taking responsibility for them. But so what it could be is these cards could be saying that right now you have to take responsibility of your foundation. You have to take responsibility of kind of where you're at and what is shaking up for you right now. So for some of you, all of this shakeup, I feel like for some of you, the shakeup could be a relationship situation too. That's just a feeling. And the reason why I say it could be a relationship situation is for some of you, you could have been with somebody that made you feel really good at one point. Like they were really singing your praises. Then all of a sudden, like things maybe it took a slight turn, and it's almost like you became defensive in terms of this person or dealing with this person. And then now all of a sudden it's either you guys have this argument. But the thing is, the tower is not a bad thing even when it shows up in an argument, because it can actually give the opportunity to rebuild things. So sometimes it allows you to sort of air out your grievances in order to actually form a stronger bond or stronger relationship. So it's not a bad thing in that respects, Again, it's like whatever it shakes up is for you to create something better in its place, something that is stronger, it has more stability, once it's being rebuilt. So it's a good thing. It's definitely unsettling. That's kind of what I get from your reading. If anything, there's some kind of something is going to feel unsettling to you, but it's not going to be bad because it's going to allow you to build a new foundation. So positive results will come out of it either way. It just may not feel positive in the moment, but it will give an opportunity to create something better and more long lasting in the end. So that's your cards, Cancer. Let's see what is showing up for, what's the other water sign now? Scorpio. 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 You have, oh my goodness, Scorpio has a Page of Pentacles as well. The Page of Pentacles has shown up. This is the third time now. Oh, but the Wheel. No one has had the Wheel yet. This has shown up one time before. 8 of Swords. So it's interesting because Cancer kind of had a reading that shows that they were having some kind of shake-up. You're having a reading where it's not so much of a shake-up, but it's some kind of opposite taking place. Now, it still can be just as surprising when it takes place. Just like I kind of felt that for Cancer, what was showing up for them was going to change the trajectory in terms of where they're at now. And for you, it'll be similar. There's sort of this change of trajectory that happens with the Wheel of Fortune. Now, it can go either way because the wheel spins either way. Sometimes it can bring in money, finances, and positive happenings, positive things. if it spins the other way, it can bring about sometimes hardship and challenge. Um, and with the Eight of Swords, it's saying that there is some kind of change that is coming up for you, change in fortune that is going to bring about some worries. And I kind of think that what is coming up for me intuitively is you could have spent on something, because that's the interesting thing about the Wheel of Fortune. So many times when you read tarot books, they want to or websites and all this kind of stuff, they always make it seem like the Wheel of Fortune instantly brings about good fortune all the time. But like I said, it depends on which way the wheel turns. And what I found from me, whenever I've done readings for myself and other people, the wheel also represents spending a lot of money as well, because it has that Jupiter energy connected to it. And sometimes with Jupiter, like things can feel really good. Like you want to spend on a holiday, you want to spend on a new car, you want to spend, like you want, it's almost like you may want to spend money on something that is quite lavish, and you might just do it on a whim, or do it because you think you deserve it, or you think because you worked hard, or it kind of has this energy of a feel good energy. It's like you had a certain amount of money, and so you thought, oh, I have enough, to treat myself on something big. And then before you know it, like you spend the money, and then something turns up, like maybe a bill shows up that you forgot about, or you have something else that you should have taken care of, and you don't have enough money now, or you're a bit short. It doesn't mean that you're going to be short forever, or that it's like some major financial issue you're going to fall into, but sometimes it can just be like an oversight. So what I would say is, if you have some money right now, try to be sensible with it. Like, try not to just spend on something because it just seemed like a fun idea at the time. Or if you do, make sure you have a backup plan. Like, make sure you have a reserve of money. Make sure, I don't know, you have a partner that has some money, somebody that can borrow or loan you something in the meantime that you can pay back later or something. With this kind of Wheel of Fortune showing up, because with the Eight of Swords afterwards, it's kind of showing that you may be in a little bit of a bind afterwards. And again, when you're spending, it can feel good, but then when something shows up and it becomes an issue, then that's when sort of the worry can set in. And the Wheel of Fortune, like I said, usually represents a big purchase, especially with the page of pentacles showing up here. Let's see what is underneath the deck. The Hanged Man. So yeah, be careful with overspending, because the Hanged Man as your shadow card is basically saying it can kind of be like when you kind of feel a bit stuck between a rock and a hard place, because you have to surrender to your circumstances. It's not a card of action, so it's like one of them ones where it's the advice that the Hangman is giving you is about seeing things from another perspective. So that's the wisdom that comes with the Hangman. It's about changing your perception of things. So if you're an emotional spender, it could be saying that now is the time where you have to change your perception or your ideas surrounding money and spending. This is also a time where it's kind of saying, instead of actually focusing on what you think that you need, know that you are enough, know that you have enough. So if maybe you might be a bit materialistic, or you might feel like, oh, I need to have this to fit in with a certain group of people, or I need to have this to feel like I belong, or something like that. It's kind of saying you don't need these financial things to belong, or to feel like you're worthy, or to feel like you're somebody important or special in some kind of way. So it's kind of, yeah, about changing your ideas surrounding, could be surrounding money, could be just surrounding, I mean, to be honest, for some of you guys, it may not also be a fault of your own that you end up a bit short of cash, or end up a little bit stuck. I kind of feel like something may show up for you that also might leave you a little bit stuck. So it could be something like a whole home repair or something like that, and it costs more than you would have expected, something like that. And then it's like you feel kind of stuck with it, like you have to sort it out, but you don't know what to do. Or so it could be that as well, because the Hangman also can be a card of like of punishment, in terms of feeling like you like having to pay for something that, you know, for an action that could have been your own, but it doesn't necessarily have to be your own, if you get what I'm saying. So I would say just be careful around money and finances, and also about taking a gamble, because the Wheel of Fortune can sometimes be about taking a gamble, taking risks as well. So only take calculated risks at this time. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes I'm trying to bring a reading to an end and I'm still getting more messages. I'm really drawn to the dice that is around this lady's neck. Dice can represent gambling as well. So I would say be careful with gambling too at this time. Be careful of taking any kind of financial risks, like investing in something that kind of seems a bit shaky or uncertain as well. Because it kind of can leave you in a bind, I think. So many blessings to you, Scorpio. I'll see you. Bye. Is it Pisces? So let's see what is showing up for Pisces this month. Okay, Pisces, you have Five of Swords with the Seven of Swords, with the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, Five of Swords. Whenever the Seven of Swords shows up, which is in the middle of your reading, it has to do with somebody either being very sneaky or underhanded or doing something unethical. And this person looks concerned. This person looks worried because of this person. I feel like be careful of somebody. Be careful of somebody taking something from you that is valuable. Or a person that is sneaky. I kind of feel like I see you worried about somebody's actions. You're worried about something that you've either lost, something that has been taken from you. And you kind of, it's like you blame yourself, or you blame yourself, like, how could I have fallen for that? Or how could I have, you know, left this there and somebody took it? How could I have, you know, it's like you're blaming yourself for something that you may have done that contributed to somebody taking something from you, or somebody's sneaky behavior. So I would say be careful of things that sound too good to be true. Be careful of maybe being either too open or maybe too trusting. Because whoever this other person is that has caused you upset, they're only thinking about themselves. So I see somebody in your cards that's like, they're very selfish. They're only thinking about themselves. It's like they don't mind taking from you to be able to benefit themselves or help themselves. I feel like for some of you, this is a person that you even know. Like, just as I'm looking at the cards, the word that come to mind is like a sibling, could even be like a family member that is almost like they're either taking advantage or they are doing something sneaky or underhanded, and you discover that, and you discover it, and it's sort of directed at you. And there's a lot of ravens in the swords cards in this deck, and the ravens speak to me of almost like an ending. So it's like whatever takes place here could cause an ending of a relationship between you and a family member, or you and somebody that you're close to, because of either betrayal or this person taking from you. I would also say it was so interesting, like with Scorpios, I told him to be careful with gambling or taking a risk on something, and I kind of feel like it's a similar message to you too. Like, be careful of taking a risk on something, because the risk may not exactly pay off as you want it to. The Nine of Pentacles gives me some hope in the situation though, because the Nine of Pentacles is usually a good card for money, a good card for business, a good card for even finances and investments. So what I would say is this: even if you lose something, I feel like the loss is not going to be so great that you can't recover from it or move on from it. I think for some of you guys, if you decide to go into business with somebody else, you might see that that person isn't the right person to go into business with because of their actions. But if it's a case of you can continue on things by yourself, I think you'll be more successful on your own than teaming up with someone at this time. So I would say put your own success first. Put your needs first before the needs of others right now, because I kind of feel like if you may trust the wrong person at this time. But the good thing is even if you do trust somebody and they are to let you down, like the result of it is not going to be that harmful to you. But you're dealing with someone that's a bit shaky there in character. Let's kind of see. Yeah, I just wanted to see more about this Seven of Swords. The shakiness has to do with some kind of accomplishment. So somebody is actually either coming for you because of something that you've accomplished for yourself. So I kind of feel like there could be a jealousy situation here. Someone is jealous of something that you've accomplished, so they want to, they're acting in a way that they almost want to take what you've accomplished, or they're trying to almost like sabotage it in some kind of way. But I kind of feel like they're not going to be able to fully do that though. They will try, but they're not going to be successful though. But it's going to cause you a bit of a headache when it first happens, when it first takes place. I also received a message that somebody may have done something where they didn't sort things out properly, and then they made a mess of things and they didn't tell you about it. And but then even though it's a bit of a headache, like for you to sort it out, it'll be okay, because you'll be able to sort it out and it will turn out okay for you. So regardless of how things go, know that it will be fine. Like, that's what your cards are showing. Like, you be all right in the end. And you got the Queen of Cups. So you've got, this could be you, or it could be sometimes it's more fixed sign. Well, not fixed. Queen of Cups is like, it's cardinal. So then it's like Cancer. Could be a Cancer person as well. So the Queen of Cups is as you know, you're very intuitive. So is kind of going into how you feel right now. You'll be able to know who you can trust by the vibes and the feelings you get from those people. Whatever energy you're putting out is the energy that you're getting back. So know that things that you're manifesting into your life, there's a reason for it. So whatever shows up into your life at this time, analyze it. Try to dissect what the meaning or the purpose is in the events that are happening to you right now. Because if you're able to dissect it and understand why the universe is bringing certain things, certain people and certain situations into your life, you'll be able to learn like a life lesson that will be very beneficial to you in the future. And might even stop you from making sort of the same mistakes or getting into the same scenarios with certain people in the future as well. So many blessings to you, Pisces. I'll be seeing you. Bye.